Hey everyone, if this is your first time tuning in, I'm Doug Ballinger, and this is Logan's Voice. I'm a father, an advocate, and someone who knows what it's like to lose the most important person in your life to something preventable. In May of 2020, I lost my son Logan to fentanyl poisoning. He was just 32 years old. He was trying to survive in a world that made survival harder than it should have been. Now I speak out for Logan and for every life we're still fighting to save. And today, I want to talk to you about Naloxone, the medication that can reverse an opioid overdose. It's also known as Narcan. And if there's one thing I want you to take away from this episode is this: Naloxone is not just for drug users. It's for bystanders, for parents, for teens, for teachers, bartenders, coaches, and Uber drivers. It's for everyone. Because you never know when you're going to be the only person standing between someone and death. And you never want to look back and think, if I just had some Narcan. We'll talk about what naloxone is, when to use it, and what signs to look for, how to actually give it, step-by-step instructions, and what to expect when someone comes back from an overdose. And why having it nearby is no different than carrying an EpiPen or learning CPR. This isn't about panic. This is about being ready, because the poison drug supply is everywhere and we can't afford not to talk about it. Let's dive in. So let's start with the basics. What is naloxone? Naloxone is a medication that reverses the effects of an opioid overdose. It works by blocking opioid receptors in the brain, which basically stops the overdose in its tracks. It's like an emergency off switch for opioids. Whether someone is taking fentanyl, heroin, oxycodone, morphine, or anything else in the category. It's sold under brand names like Narcan, and you can find it in two main forms: a nasal spray, which is what most people carry now. It's super simple to use, or an injectable version, which is usually used by medical professionals or harm reduction teams, but is still available to the public. And let me be clear about something that's really important. Naloxone is safe. If you give it to someone and they're not overdosing, it won't hurt them. There are no serious side effects, no risk of abuse, no legal restrictions on who can use it. You don't have to be a doctor or an EMT. You just need to be willing to act. You can't make things worse by giving naloxone, but you can absolutely save someone's life. And you know what else? You don't have to be a drug user to be impacted by this. You don't have to look like someone who carries Narcan. Overdose can happen to a teenager who took one fake pill, or a college kid trying Adderall that was pressed with fentanyl, or a person in recovery who relapses for one moment, a loved one with a painkiller prescription that got too hard to manage. This is happening everywhere. In rich neighborhoods, in schools, in homes that never thought this could be their reality. That's why naloxone belongs in everyone's hands. Not just emergency responders, not just parents of people who use drugs. Everyone. We carry fire extinguishers. We learn CPR. We have seat belts and smoke alarms and helmets for motorcycle riders. Not because we expect disaster, but because we prepare for the moment we hope never comes. That's what naloxone is, a second chance. A moment to stop a tragedy before it becomes permanent. A chance to say, you're not done yet. We're not letting you go today. So now that we've talked about what naloxone is, let's talk about when to use it. Because in those moments when something doesn't feel right, hesitation can cost someone their life. The truth is, you don't have to be 100% sure someone is overdosing to use naloxone. If you suspect an overdose, just give the naloxone. Because let me tell you something important. Naloxone only helps. It doesn't hurt. If the person isn't overdosing, the naloxone won't do anything harmful. But if they are overdosing, you might just have saved their life. Here's some signs to look for. Someone may be overdosing if they are unresponsive or unconscious and won't wake up. Their breathing is very slow or not breathing at all. They're making gurgling, gasping, or snoring sounds. Their lips or fingertips look blue or gray. Their pupils are very small, what they call pinpoint pupils, and their skin feels cold or clammy. You might hear someone say, "He's just sleeping it off," or "She's fine, she's just high." But here's the thing. Sleeping people breathe normally. Overdosing people don't. If you're not sure, ask these two questions. Can they respond when you call their name or shake them? And are they breathing normally? If the answer is no, or you're even a little unsure, that's your green light to use naloxone. Here's what not to do. Don't wait for them to come to on their own. Don't put them in a cold shower. Don't walk away and assume they'll be okay. And don't be afraid to call for help. Because most states have Good Samaritan laws that protect you from arrest if you're trying to save someone's life. Even if there are drugs nearby, even if you're scared, even if you're a teen and worried what your parents will say, you are protected. Call 911, and giving naloxone isn't being a snitch. It's being a hero. And remember, time matters. Brain damage can start in just a few minutes without oxygen. If you're not breathing, every second counts. Naloxone is most effective the sooner it's given. You don't need a medical degree. You don't need to know the person. All you need is to recognize the signs and be ready to act. Because when someone is overdosing, they don't need judgment. They need oxygen. They need you. They need naloxone. All right, so you've recognized the signs that someone may be overdosing. You've made the decision to act. Now what? Let me walk you through exactly how to use nasal naloxone, usually known as Narcan, because that's what most people carry these days. And I want you to hear this loud and clear. You can do this. You don't have to be a nurse. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to show up. So, nasal Narcan instructions, a step-by-step guide. Number one, check for responsiveness. Shake their shoulder, call their name, try a sternum rub. Rub your knuckles firmly down their chest, the middle of their chest. If there's no response, move to step two. Call 911. Even if you're given Narcan, the person still needs emergency medical care. Say, "I think someone is overdosing, they're unresponsive and not breathing properly," and stay on the line if you can. Lay them on their back and support their head. Tilt their head back slightly to open the airway. Grab your Narcan nasal spray. Peel it open and hold it with your thumb on the bottom and 2 fingers on the nozzle. Insert into one nostril and press the plunger firmly. One spray, one full dose. You don't need to do both nostrils. One nostril is enough. Wait 2 to 3 minutes. If they don't start breathing or wake up, give a second dose in the other nostril. While waiting, begin rescue breathing or chest compressions if you're trained. If you're not trained, the 911 operator can walk you through it. Breathing is more important than a pulse in overdose response. Stay with the person. When naloxone works, it can reverse the overdose in 2 to 3 minutes, but be prepared. They might wake up disoriented, angry, or even in withdrawal. Here's what to expect after giving Narcan. The person may gasp, cough, sit up suddenly, or be very confused. They might vomit, feel sick, or be angry. This is all normal. It's withdrawal setting in quickly. Reassure them, "You were overdosing. I gave you Narcan. You're okay. Help is coming." And do not leave them alone. Narcan wears off in 30 to 90 minutes. The opioids in their system can kick back in after that, causing them to slip back into overdose. That's why medical attention is critical, even if they seem fine. Here's some helpful tips. Carry 2 doses. Fentanyl and xylazine are strong, and 1 dose might not be enough. Store Narcan at room temperature. Keep it in your car, your bag, glove box, or pocket. Let others know you carry it and teach your teens and friends how to use it too. Bottom line, you don't have to get it perfect. You just have to try. Narcan is designed to be used by regular people like you and me. And in a world where so many are lost in silence, you showing up with Naloxone might be the one voice that says, not today, not this life. By now, you know what Naloxone is. You know how to use it, but the question I hear all the time is this: why should I carry it if I don't use drugs? Well, here's why. Because overdose isn't just happening to those people anymore. It's happening at sleepovers, at music festivals, at gas stations, libraries, restaurants. It's happening to straight-A students, athletes, veterans, moms, dads, and kids who just wanted one night to escape the pressure. Most of the people who die from fentanyl poisoning didn't want to die. They didn't plan to overdose. They weren't even trying to get high. They were lied to, sold something fake, and never got a second chance. Carrying naloxone gives people that second chance. Think about it this way. We don't carry an EpiPen because we expect a peanut allergy. We don't wear seatbelts because we plan on crashing. We carry these things because we care about life, ours, and the people around us. Naloxone is no different. It's a rescue tool, a safety device, a way to be ready for the crisis we hope never comes. So who should carry it? Parents, especially if you have teens or young adults. Teachers, coaches, and youth mentors. People in recovery and their loved ones. Bartenders, security guards, Uber and Lyft drivers. Teens going to parties, college students, roommates. Anyone who gives a damn about the people around them. You don't have to be close to someone who uses opioids to need it. You just have to be close to a moment where someone's life is on the line. The poison drug supply is everywhere. If you're around people, you're around risk, even if you don't know it. Carrying naloxone says, I see what's happening in the world, I value human life, and I'm ready to help if something goes wrong. It takes up less room in your purse, costs less than a movie ticket, and it might save a life of someone you love or someone you haven't even met yet. So yeah, I believe everyone should carry naloxone, not because it makes you responsible for someone else's choices, but because it makes you someone who chooses compassion in a moment that matters. Now, I want to talk about something real and maybe just a little uncomfortable, and it's teens, pills, and parties. You might not want to believe it's happening, but it is. Every weekend, kids, good kids, smart kids, kids who never touched a drug in their life are being offered something. Sometimes it's a Xanax, sometimes it's an Adderall, sometimes it's just a chill pill or something to help you sleep. And more often, that one pill is laced with fentanyl, xylazine, or both. They didn't ask for fentanyl. They didn't mean to die. But they never got a second chance because no one there had Narcan. Or no one knew what to do. Or they waited too long to call for help. This is why teens need to carry naloxone as well. Not because we expect them to use it, but because they might witness someone else who needs it. A best friend, a classmate, a little brother's teammate, someone's date. Carrying Narcan to a party doesn't make you a drug user. It makes you someone who knows the world has changed and wants to be prepared. The kids today aren't using differently. The supply is just deadlier. Here's what teens need to know. Always have 2 doses of Narcan in your pocket, bag, or glove box. Know the signs of an overdose. shallow breathing, blue lips, won't wake up, making gurgling or snoring sounds. Don't be afraid to call 911. Good Samaritan laws protect you in most states. Tell your friends where the Narcan is and how to use it. If someone starts overdosing, act immediately. Don't wait, don't panic, just follow the steps. Even if you're young, even if you're scared, you have the power to save someone's life. And for the parents listening, please talk to your teens, not with fear or shame, but with honesty. Let them know they can come to you. Let them know it's okay to be prepared. We give our kids condoms, seatbelts, phone trackers, pepper spray. Why not give them naloxone as well? And what to say to your teen? I hope you never need this, but if something goes wrong, I want you to be the one who can make it right. Because here's the truth. One pill shouldn't mean one funeral. And we don't have to keep losing kids when the solution can fit in their backpack. This isn't about panic. It's about power. So here we are. We've talked about what naloxone is, how it works, when to use it, how to give it, and why every one of us should carry it. If you take one thing away from this episode, let it be this. You don't have to be a first responder to save a life. You just have to be the one who shows up, who sees what's happening, who refuses to look away. We live in a world where the drug supply is poisoned, where people are dying, not because they're bad or weak or broken, but because one fake pill was stronger than they expected, because they were lied to, because no one told them fentanyl was in everything, because nobody nearby had naloxone. I lost my son Logan in 2020. There is no rewind button. There's no fix for that kind of loss. But what I can do, and what you can do, is help make sure it doesn't happen to someone else's child, someone else's friend, someone else's dad or sister or son. You don't have to wait until it happens to you. You can prepare today. So here's what I'm asking you to do. Go to your pharmacy and ask for Narcan. Go to your local health department and ask for Narcan. Request a free kit if you're in Arkansas. Keep 2 doses with you at home, in your glove box, and in your purse. Tell someone you carry it. Teach someone else how to use it. Be the one who's ready. Because if the moment ever comes when you hear the gurgling sounds, or you find someone unresponsive, or you see lips turning blue, you'll know exactly what to do. You won't freeze. You won't panic. You'll act. And someone will live because of it. This is how we fight back. Not with judgment, not with shame, but with compassion, with action, and with truth. You don't have to talk. You just have to show up. Until next time, I believe in your power to save a life. I am Logan's voice. I am Logan's dad. And I will not be silent.